I am Ferdinand Marcos, and I am the President of the Republic of the Philippines. I stand today on behalf of 110 million Filipinos.
Patuloy ang ating pagtulong sa mga OFW. Hindi ito natatapos sa kanilang paglisan sa bansa. Karagdagang mga espesyal na pasilidad at serbisyo ang ating binuksan para sa kanila, tulad ng OFW Lounge sa NAIA at Seafarers Hub sa Maynila. Ang mga OFW natin na naapektuhan ng sari-saring mga kaguluhan tulad sa Israel, sa Gaza, sa Sudan, Lebanon at Yemen ay natulungan natin at naiuwi ng ligtas sa bansa. Gayon din ang naging pagtulong natin sa mga kababayan nating nasalanta ng kalamidad at krisis tulad sa Taiwan at sa New Zealand. Hanggang sa kanilang pag-uwi, buong puso ang ating pagtanggap at paglingap. Ang nagbabalik-bayang mga OFW kasama ng kanilang pamilya ay sinusuportahan nating mabuti upang maging maayos ang kanilang bagong simula dito sa bansa para makakuha ng magandang trabaho o di kaya'y makapagtayo ng negosyo. Kaugnay sa aking naiulat noong isang taon, sinimulan na ng Saudi Arabia ang pamimigay ng tseke sa ating mga trabahanteng nawalan ng trabaho doon. Unti-unti, ang ating mga naapektuhang OFW ay nababayaran na. For this, we convey our sincerest gratitude to the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Lessons from history and current events teach us that peace and order is an essential ingredient of genuine prosperity and social development. This is the path that we choose to take. Despite difficulties, despite our diversity and differences as a people, we are joined together by a unique history and have constantly invested our energies and resources in strengthening the pillars of peace. Our police, military, and Coast Guard undergo continuous capacity building and asset upgrading so that they are better able to preserve the peace and defend our territory. We have noted an overall decrease in crime rate and an improvement in crime solution efficiency. But this is not enough. This is not enough. Our law enforcement need to continue to earn the trust of our people. The strong pillars of our criminal justice system, especially in light of the new rules on criminal investigation and our independent judiciary, function in unison. In tandem with the justice system, COA's audit mechanism works in harmony with our transparency, streamlining, and open government initiatives. All in all, these successfully foster a culture of accountability that curbs corruption in government. With the newly enacted Republic Act number 12009 that I signed just last Saturday, government procurement will be modern and innovative, more streamlined and efficient, and truly at par with global best practices. We sincerely thank Congress for its timely and decisive action in amending the 20-year-old law. We have come a long way in our quest for a lasting and inclusive peace. No guerrilla fronts remain active across our country today. Only 7 weakened groups remain to be dismantled, and they are the subject of focused operations. But along with the assertion of government might, we also offer peace, community development, and reintegration programs for those who have returned to the fold of the law. Through a comprehensive and transformative approach, we have rebuilt not only lives, but also conflict-affected communities. The implementation of peace agreements is now in its concluding phase. Former combatants now live peaceful and productive lives in their respective communities. Some of our former rebels are now absorbed into the AFP, serving in the defense of the Republic, while others are now part of the PNP BARM. Government will honor and fully comply with its remaining deliverables and commitments under these agreements. In November last year, we signed proclamations granting amnesty to former rebels. A month later, and then in June of this year, the House of Representatives and the Senate issued their respective resolutions concurring with these amnesty proclamations. That Congress is one with us is a testament to the whole nation's sincere desire for peace. In such a short period, the BARM has impressively established a strong foundation for its progressive, autonomous social development. Investments continue to pour into the BARM. Last year, investments in the region increased by 140% year on year. The improved peace and order situation, good governance, not to mention high hopes and confidence amongst its people, all contribute to the reasons why BARM's poverty index has significantly decreased since 2018. In Marawi, the rehabilitation and rebuilding continue under the supervision now of the Office of the President. Our focus remains on restoring energy, water, and livable communities. As of today, all 7 intergovernmental mechanisms of the BARM, as mandated under the organic law, have been organized and activated. These will guarantee effective and constant consultation between the Bangsamoro and national governments in the fundamental aspects of governance. 5 out of the 7 essential laws for the BARM have already been enacted by the BTA Parliament. Now it has its own administrative code. It has its own local government code, its own election code, and those for education and the civil service as well. So with these inspiring developments, the BARM appears primed and ready for its regular elections, the first ones that they will have in the coming year. On the fight against dangerous drugs, our bloodless war on dangerous drugs adheres and will continue to adhere to the established 8 E's of an effective anti-illegal drug strategy. Wow. Extermination was never one of them. And yet, in more than 71,500 operations, it has resulted in the seizure of more than 44 billion pesos worth of illegal drugs and the arrest of more than 97,000 drug personalities. More than 6,000 of those arrested were high-value targets. 440 of them were government employees, of whom 42 were uniformed personnel. 77 were elected officials.
Oh my goodness!
So to further paralyze their operations, dirty money and assets worth more than 500 million pesos have been frozen and preserved. With strong case buildup and efficient prosecution, the drug conviction rate is at a high of 79%. Together with this, we welcome the report that the number of drug-affected barangays in our country has been reduced by 32%.
Wow.
In our international relations, we have faced challenges to our territorial sovereignty, and we will assert our rights and interests in the same fair and pacific way that we have always done. Proper diplomatic channels and mechanisms under the rules-based international order remain the only acceptable means of settling disputes. Peace and community building will always be our clarion call, especially when the country serves as chair and the host of ASEAN Summit in 2026. We continuously try to find ways to de-escalate tensions in contested areas with our counterparts without compromising our position and our principles. I know that our neighbors too are doing their best to make this work. The Philippines cannot yield the Philippines cannot waver.
Yes.
We are now more conscious as a people and strategic in heightening our aerial and maritime domain awareness. We are continuing to strengthen our defensive posture, both through developing self-reliance and through partnerships with like-minded states. Ang West Philippine Sea ay hindi katang-isip natin lamang. Ito ay atin. Ito ay
See guys, narinig mo yun?
At ito ay mananatiling atin hanggat nag-aalab ang diwa ng ating minamahal na bansang Pilipinas.
Yes! Standing ovation! The best president talaga ito si BBM.
Pagtitibayin at palalaguin natin ang kamalayan at kaalaman ng buong bansa at titiyakin na maipapasa natin ito sa kabataan at ating susunod na mga salinlahi.
Wow.
Laws on our maritime zones and archipelagic sea lanes make sure that this intergenerational mandate, this duty, will firmly take root in the hearts and minds of all our people. Sa buong sandatang lakas, sa Coast Guard, sa ating mga mangingisda sa West Philippine Sea. Tagapimpunin niyo ang taus-pusong pasasalamat ng buong bansa dahil sa inyong ginagawang pagmamatyag at sakripisyo.
See guys, you see?
Let us now turn to our economic status and our prospects. In spite of headwinds that we have faced, we have stayed the course. The country exhibits healthy signs of post-pandemic resilience comparable to strong economies in our region. Our poverty rate has significantly dropped to 15.5%, down from 18% in 2021.
Wow.
This present figure is even lower than the pre-pandemic level of 16.7% in 2018. Ang katumbas nito ay halos 2.5 milyong Pilipino ang naiangat natin mula sa kahirapan. Kasabay nito, nabawasan ng lagpas 1,700,000 ang bilang ng mga Pilipinong walang sapat na pambili ng pagkain. Patuloy natin pagsisikapan na marami pa tayong maiaahon mula sa kahirapan. To sustain the country's economic gains, we are promoting investment-led growth. We have set in motion policies and programs to create an environment conducive for business to thrive, like reforms in the capital markets and implementation of green lanes. As a result, we have green lanes certified, around 100 projects with a total investment of about 3 trillion pesos across the sectors of renewable energy, digital infrastructure, food security, and manufacturing. The Philippine financial system remains robust and resilient. Tax and non-tax revenue collection has also become more efficient in pace with our rejuvenated economy. Notably, for the past 2 years, our GOCCs have remitted dividends to the national government with a combined tally exceeding their contributions in 2022. To build on these, and guided by strong fiscal discipline, Our proposed government budget for this year was crafted with utmost care, diligence, and meticulous attention. We look to the cooperation of our colleagues in the legislature, not only that our proposed national budget be approved in your usual timely manner, but it be adhered to as closely as possible. We expect all agencies to ensure that every centavo allocated will be judiciously spent for our urgent priorities and socially impactful programs. Mga kababayan, sa lahat ng ginagawa natin ito at mga gagawin pa, mataas ang aking kumpiyansa na malalampasan din natin ang hamon ng ating pinagdadaanan. Dahil ito ang pangunahing hinaing ng taong bayan. Hindi tayo titigil sa paglalaban sa kahirapan at sa paghahanap ng lunas upang maibalik sa normal ang presyo ng bilihin, lalo na ang bigas. At ngayon po, naririnig po namin ang malakas na sigaw ng taong bayan laban sa mga pogo. Disguising as legitimate entities, their operations have ventured into illicit areas furthest from gaming, such as financial scamming, money laundering, prostitution, human trafficking, kidnapping, brutal torture, even murder. The grave abuse and disrespect to our system of laws must stop. Kailangan nang itigil ang panggulo nito sa ating lipunan at paglalapastangan sa ating bansa. Effective today, all pogos are banned.
Yes!
I hereby instruct PAGCOR to wind down and cease the operations of POGOs by the end of the year. The DOLE, in coordination with our economic managers, shall use the time between now and then to find new jobs for our countrymen who will be displaced.
Yes! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
This will solve many of the problems that we are encountering. It will solve many of the problems that we have been encountering, but it will not solve all of them. To solve all the problems that we have been suffering under, all officials, law enforcers, workers in government, and most of all, the citizenry, must always be vigilant, principled, and think of the health of the nation.
Tama.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let me end by recalling the words of a great man. Let not anyone pacify his conscience by the delusion that he can do no harm if he takes no part and forms no opinion. Bad men need nothing more to compass their ends than that good men should look on and do nothing. He is not a good man.
Yes! Woohoo! Matapang na Pangulo.
He is not a good man who, without a protest, allows wrong to be committed in his name.
Exactly. Wow.
Mga minamahal kong kababayan, lagi po nating labanan ang mali at ang masama. Lagi po nating ipaglaban ang tama at ang mabuti. Lagi po nating
That's my president.
Lagi
guys.
po nating mahalin ang Pilipinas. Lagi po nating mahalin ang Pilipino. Mabuhay po kayo at mabuhay ang bagong Pilipino. Maraming salamat po.
So, yun, mga kababayan, narinig nyo yun? Surprise! Oh, pagkor, ha? Do it now, effective today. Ban pugo. Oh my goodness. Oh, kudos sa mga senador na talagang nakafocus. Ngayon, sa maraming nanawagan, mga kababayan natin, mga senador, mga mababatas, yung panawagan nyo, naririnig ng Pangulo. Ngayon, natupad na. All pugos ban effective today. Oh my goodness, nakaka-overwhelm. Ang tapang niya, yan ang matapang. Dito mo makita ang isang Pangulo na talagang pinagmamalaki ang sariling bansa, ipagtatanggol niya ang bansa sa mga gumagawa ng karahasan. Ayan, si Pangulong Marcos Jr. Very dangerous na Pangulo ito. Sa kanyang mga pulisiya, the best among the rest talaga. Oh, pasensya na, sa mga tao na gusto niyang inilegalize ang pugo ngayon. Mababanis na lahat yan, mga bes. Shout out sa mga Marcos loyalists and supporters, sa mga Pilipino sa buong daigdig. Shout out po sa inyo. Kayo guys, anong masasabi nyo dito sa sinabi ni Pangulong Marcos Jr.? Wow, na-speechless ako. Nagulat ako dun, mga kababayan. Ang daming nagulat sa kanyang speech. Ang akala ko, hindi niya sasabihin. Wow, grabe. Yan, paano ngayon yan? Mahirap nyo talaga tibagin itong Pangulo na ito. Ang titibag, lagas. So yan guys, maraming salamat sa inyong watching. The best show na so far guys. Thank you Lord. Mayroon kaming Pangulo na napakatapang. See you again mga kababayan sa aking next upload video. Bye bye bye. Babus! God bless Philippines! Yoo-hoo!